Hey everyone, welcome back to the course. Now that we've covered our core PlayerPref methods, it's time to start building our custom PlayerPref script. In this video, we'll define our key variables, set up references for better performance, and use constants to keep our keys typo-proof and easy to maintain. Let's jump in. I'm back in the PlayerPref course, and what you want to do first is make sure you go to the assets folder, right-click, and let's make a new folder by going to Create in Folder. Let's name this Scripts. Go into that scripts folder. And then once you're in that folder, right click and go to create mono behavior script. And I'm just going to call this PlayerPref manager. Okay. Open it up. And we don't need this start or update method. So I'm going to first go ahead and delete that. To make this a little bit organized, I'm going to be using headers. That way we can see it in the inspector. So the first one we're going to make is header parentheses. Then in the parentheses, you're going to have int counter. There we go. And then under this is going to be the serialized field private text mesh pro underscore text int text. Now you'll see how TMP underscore text is an error right now, and that's because we haven't imported the TMP namespace. So let's go ahead and do that using TMP Pro. There you go. Now that error should have gone away. After this, we're going to make the private int counter and set this equal to 0. Now the int text, this is going to be the UI element showing int counter, the value for int counter that we're going to reference in our script. And then the int counter is going to be the counter stored in our script. There we go. Now that we made the int, I'm going to go ahead and copy this and paste it. Turn this int into float. Then we also need to change this to a private float. And then change this into float counter. And same thing here, float text. This is going to be the UI element showing float counter. If you don't need these comments, go ahead and erase them in your code. And this float counter is the counter stored in our script for the float value. Last but not least, we do need to make a variable for the input field. So to do that, I'm going to do header. Oh, wow. Header, parentheses. Now let's call this string input. There we go. Let's make another serialized field. That way we can see it in the inspector. Then it'll be private TMP underscore input field because we're working with a text mesh pro input field element. And let's call this variable string input, which will be the input field for user string. I'm going to make another serialized field, and this is going to be the private text mesh pro underscore text. And this will be the string display. Now, when you're working with PlayerPrefs, it's a good idea to turn these keys into constants. The reason being is because, well, these can't change throughout your code. And you don't want those keys changing because then you're going to have multiple key names that could mean the same thing. And that's not good for your code. To make those constants, I'm going to hit Control plus Alt and the down arrow key so I can edit multiple lines in my Visual Studio Code and start typing out private const string. Don't really want these. And we're going to have the first one be a int underscore key that's equal to int value. And then this is going to be the float underscore key that is equal to the float value. And you probably already guessed it, but this is going to be the string underscore key. And this is going to be equal to our string value. That's a wrap for this video. Your variables references are now set up. In the next video, we'll work on setting up our data manipulation and reset methods. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, or comment below your thoughts. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.